Welcome back to Petrolheads London on a very cold and frosty morning here in London. So this video, I'm going to talk to you a bit about the stock exhaust on the F-Type, so my 3 litre V6 F-Type. Now, I'm not one for big mods and changing exhaust, but the one thing on this car is they spent a lot of money on tuning the exhaust and making sure it sounds right. So we're going to have a listen to it in its various different modes, but first things first, this car is filthy. We need to get it cleaned. Let's go. Now, best laid plans and all that, I'm actually up too early to get my car washed, so I want to do this video anyway. So we're not going to get the car washed, but what we are going to do is listen to this exhaust. When they developed this car, they spent a lot of time and money developing the exhaust note on this. And unlike those ones where they play sound back through the speakers, this has an amazing and, well, deliciously addictive sound. You spend your life with the exhaust valve open, just listening to those pops and crackles, and especially in the early days, I found I spent my life just changing gear, not because I needed to for the performance or the driving the car, but because of that sound coming out the back was just amazing. So we're going to have a little listen to it. There's basically 3 things you can do on this car. The first one is turn the exhaust valve on. So normal driving mode, turn the exhaust valve on. And actually even without it on, which is I suppose is the first one, it sounds quite nice. When you turn that exhaust valve on, like open it up, man, it sounds good. It just sounds so much louder. And in the car, you think, well, actually, it doesn't sound that loud. But I've seen them coming down the road, or rather, I've heard these cars coming down the road, and I thought, my God, what's that? And realised it's also an F-Type. But then when you open that exhaust valve, I said, the sound is brilliant, but then also you've got dynamic mode. Now, I don't actually know if it makes any difference or whether this is all in my head, but that feels like that's also another notch up from the kind of like the exhaust note. I mean, it obviously also makes the engine, the sort of settings a bit sort of more, well, obviously dynamic, but also what it means is it revs higher in terms of like, you know, changing up much later. And I think you probably just tend to drive it a bit hard on that, so you get a much stronger note. One of the things about this car is this sound that it makes. It is just, well, listen for yourself. I'm sure you've heard it on a few of my videos already. There's a few other features on this car that I want to talk about, like we've got a G-force meter. I'm not going to do that in this video. The thing that makes me laugh about the exhaust button is it does look like a pair of sunglasses. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on and have a listen to this exhaust and see what you think about the stock F-Type exhaust system and the various modes it can offer. only one thing that makes this exhaust sound better, and that's going in tunnel. So I don't have a tunnel, but what I do know is I'm about to go under a railway bridge. You have to hear this. Oh, that sound. That sound. I just want... Oh man. This is why I can't sell this car, because that noise is just... It just makes you want to go up and down the gears all day long, just to hear that sound. Just delicious, that sound. I mean, with a car like this, here comes the tunnel. That is a good playground for a nice sounding exhaust. Waking up southwest London this morning with the notes of the F-type exhaust symphony, which is, judge for yourself. I mean, people have put aftermarket exhaust on this. I don't think it needs it. Do you? Do you really think it needs it? I think it sounds pretty damn good on its own. The interesting thing actually is I've actually had somebody say to me slow down once, and I was doing 20 in a 30 zone and just because the noise it makes people think it's going faster, and it's not. But this is a lovely sounding car. I think it also sounds slightly better in the 5 litre V8, but this one still, for an everyday usable car, this is my daily. I get this every day. Thank you very much. Now, for these notes you've just been hearing, I am in dynamic mode, because I think that gives you the optimum sound, but even in normal, as you would have heard, it sounds pretty damn good, right? So there you go, a little bit of insight into what the exhaust sounds like on this. I know I haven't been able to have the playground of the country roads to show you, but I know that's definitely cropped up on a few videos. But I think the one thing I wanted to show you is actually, even though this doesn't have an aftermarket exhaust, it sounds fantastic. And actually the sense of drama and theatre it gives you when it's in it, it's just addictive. It really, really is. And you know, there's probably two things I love about this car more than anything, and one is how it looks, and that is just reflected in how people just stop and talk to you about it, and the second one is how it sounds, and that's not always good because people do often look round because they can hear you coming. Sorry I haven't managed to have a chance to get the car clean today, but you know, get up early and unfortunately everybody else isn't there. But yeah, really good to kind of have a good look at what the exhaust is like on this car. I hope to do a few more features around some of the functions and features of this car coming soon, but all remains to say is thank you for watching Petrolheads London. Please remember to like and subscribe, comments below, I try and reply to everything. Thanks very much. Cheers.